Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Channel 22 and a Half News. Starring your anchor of the year, Rachel Setless, your on-site reporters, Tim, Bob, and Fred, and lastly, the always entertaining Shane and Will.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 22 and a Half News. I'm Rachel Setless, and today we'll be discussing the new, well, not so new, more like 50 years old, theory of information processing. This theory has been sweeping the nation and stories have been flooding the station. You may be asking, what is the information processing theory? And is there a hashtag for it? Luckily, Channel 22 and a Half News is your source for reporting the most accurate information. Information processing seeks to understand how people acquire new information, how they store information, and recall it from memory, and how what they already know guides and determines what and how they will learn. The theory is based on the idea that humans process the information they receive rather than merely responding to stimuli. For any news on information processing, please tweet at @Channel22News using hashtag information processing theory. To give us a better understanding, let's hear from Science Shane reporting live from the lab. Science Shane, are you there?
Hey Rachel, I'm sorry I don't have any footage for you right now, but I'm working on something really top secret, but I can let you in on a little bit. See, I've been playing around with this website called Akinator, which I think is a great example of this theory at work. It's a program where you're supposed to think of any character, real or fake, and it will try to guess what it is based on 20 questions where you say yes, no, don't know, probably or probably not. You want to see if the program is guessing what you are thinking of correctly. But with each play, the program learns new words, new associations, and asks new questions based on its correct or incorrect guesses, much like we do according to this theory. So how about we play around with it together and see if we can get an example of what I'm talking about. Let's start with something simple, something it'll probably be able to guess. How about Superman? So you see, since the program was already familiar with the term, and there were definite, consistent responses we could give to guide its processing, it was able to guess Superman fairly quickly.
Great job, Akinator. Well, it looks like it didn't have a problem guessing Superman, but maybe we can try something more challenging. What do you think? Let's try something that it
Doesn't know. Something where it won't have any references or associations, and will thus process more slowly, and may not be able to select a proper response. How about the Springfield College mascot, the Pride?
Wow, Shane, it got it!
So you see, the efficiency of the program is determined by what it has already experienced, the new data it takes in from the environment, in this case the characters and answers we give it, and the ever-growing efficiency of its processing system based on making associations between all of these things is how it learns and changes its behavior over time. If that doesn't sound like learning, I don't know what does. Did that help clear things up, Rachel?
I'm sure it does, Science Shane. I bet the folks at home were able to process the information you gave them about information processing.
To quote the doctor, fantastic. Well, off I go. I'm reading this book on anti-gravity, and I just can't seem to put it down. Ha ha! Crack myself up.
Well, in more recent news, here is Tim live from the field with our first clip of the information processing theory at work. Tim?
Are we live? Are we live? Oh, thanks, Rachel. Folks at home right now might be wondering why the information processing theory is becoming all the rage. Well, this theory accounts for how the brain learns new strategies and becomes more efficient and powerful as we mature. In this way, children are not inferior humans waiting to reach adulthood so they can reason, but simply humans who lack experience. This accounts for how reasoning and cognitive abilities develop throughout our lifetime, barring regression, illness, or injury. So for all the folks at home, what I'm saying here is without hashtag information processing theory, we would not learn from our experiences. I am on location outside the home of two young gentlemen here. Let's take a look at this young man who did not learn that glass breaks before performing the Cups song.
What the hell was that?
All right, folks. I am on location, as I said, at the home of these two young gentlemen. Let's see if we can get them in for an interview and question them about what they were thinking trying to slam glass against a table. Well, folks, as expected, no answer here, and I don't think they want to talk about it. Well, folks at home, after several attempts to reach the two boys and question them about their antics with the Cup song, they were unable to be reached, and that ends this story. If you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. So as you can clearly see, the theory suggests the mind takes information, performs operations to change its form, stores it, and retrieves it when needed. We have learned about both recognition memory, which involves noticing whether a stimulus is identical or similar to one previously experienced, and recall memory, which is more advanced form of memory, involves remembering a stimulus that is not present. I'm sure this particular young man and any of our viewers watching today will retrieve the valuable information that glass breaks next time they plan to imitate Anna Kendrick's Cup song. Thanks, everybody. Back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Tim. That certainly is a valuable lesson for our viewers. I'm learning more and more about the information processing theory. This just in, a story on memory systems and their relationship to motor response. Will is reporting live with a story. Will?
Thank you kindly, Rachel. See, with numerous models and explanations out there to explain the concept of memory and its elements, I'm here to report to you the two-component model most often mentioned in contemporary literature. Now, according to this view, memory consists of two components: working memory and long-term memory. Take a look at this here theoretical representation of these systems and their relationship to a motor response in this figure. You see, long-term memory development appears to occur between 5 and 12 years of age. I'm sure you've heard the saying, it's like riding a bike. Well, that's perhaps the most cited example of long-term memory at work. Now, before my dang camera busted, I did manage to get some footage of a family trying out this concept live.
I'll try. I want on level ground though, down here.
Alright. Hey, this is pretty level.
Okay, here.
Let's see you do it, babe. You're good. There you go. Put your foot up there. There you go, now paddle. See?
Go, man.
Look at how easy that was.
It's like riding a bicycle.
Exactly. There goes my baby.
Missed it all. She couldn't do it with the audience.
There she goes.
Keep pedaling, Jared.
Keep pedaling.
Yes, how do I turn?
Yeah, she don't know how to turn. Now turn. Come back this way, babe.
So you see, that viewer had the ability to ride a bike after several years without any intervening practice. What a concept. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Will. What a concept indeed. Well, folks, you saw it here first on Channel 22.5 News. Unless you happen to see it on YouTube before we film this broadcast. In later news, motor developmentalists and now society are concerned with the way individuals use information in perceiving, making decisions, and organizing activity in relationships to the demands the environment places on them. Let's hear from Fred, who will walk us through the basic information model. Fred?
Thank you, Rachel. I'm here on the campus of Springfield College, reporting to you live at Babson Library, where I just discovered what was formerly discovered in the 1970s, the Basic Information Processing Model. From what we understand, there are 4 basic components that can be identified in this model. Can we get a close-up of this for the folks at home? Yes, here we go. First, you see the sensory input. Second, in the reception of information through various perpetual modalities. Then the information is processed using interpretation and decision making. And lastly, we have the output or the motor response. Wow, isn't that just fascinating?
Fascinating, Fred. And remember, you heard it here first, as well as from every other reputable motor development source from Channel 22.5 News. And now, it's time to watch a video sent in from one of our viewers on one of the following definitions. Will we be watching a video on divided attention, concentrating on more than one activity at the same time, in essence, dividing your attention, or selective attention, although closely related to alertness, response preparation, and processing capacity is a distinguishable characteristic of attention. Or will it be processing speed, which is the rate of speed at which information is processed? Or lastly, reaction time, which is the basic measure of processing speed. It refers to the interval of time between the onset of a stimulus and the initiation of a motor response. And here's Bob with the answer in today's video. Bob?
Thanks, Rachel. Well, as you can see, I'm here on site at a local equipment center where there's a variety of athletic activities to be done, balls of several types, and various other potentially hazardous materials if not used in the proper hands. So, well, the tallies are in, and with over 100,000 views and hashtag information processing theory, we will be watching a video on reaction time. This particular video shows just what happens when the information is not processed quick enough to properly react in time. Sent in by @MotorDevelopmentRocks 2015, here is a funny ball in the face montage.
Well, folks, that just about wraps up our program here at Channel 22.5 News. You may be seeing all the tweets from people like @nonsense33 and @blasphemy24 and may be wondering if you are receiving correct information about the hashtag information processing theory. Well, you can rest assured that we have been reporting quality information, as we always do at Channel 22.5 News, from these tweets we just received by renowned researchers @Miller 2011, @Baddeley 2007, and others who will of course be cited appropriately at the end of our program. Well, this is Rachel Settless from Channel 22.5 News, your main source for information that has already been discovered about motor development. Thank you and good night. Related to one of the following definitions. And here's Bob with the answer. Yes, Bob, you are indeed this way and finish this way. Yes, Bob, you are indeed correct. 2.5 News. You may be seeing all the Well, folks, that just about wraps up our program here at Channel 222 and etc., etc., who will all be cited. I'm not supposed to say etc., I'm supposed to say and so on. Hi. In later news, motor developments. And here's Bob with the answer. Well, folks, that just about wraps up our program here at Channel 222 and yes, Bob, you are indeed this way and finish this way. Hi.